meeting I ever went to.
The first city council meeting.
Yeah, I was with
1952.
62.
62.
When the first motion was made, I think it was made by Weitzel. We'd have to check it. He was on the council.
Yeah. Henry Weitzel.
Or it was either made by him or McElroy.
Yeah.
To fire Hetzel.
That was the first city manager.
One of the first one of the first things that they brought up.
Mm-hmm.
I recall.
Well, that's what the election was fought over. I
yeah,
understand.
and then it was motion made and seconded. Roll call on the first one on the list.
Teach. Yeah.
Councilman Deach. First ahead. First thing I had to vote on. Here I go. Let the records show that I abstain. I know nothing about the situation for either firing him or any other particular reason. I've never sat in on any executive meetings and many times, so I know nothing about it. So let the records show I will abstain on this issue. Calling on Weiss, I guess, next, and he says aye. Then we called on Lico. No, then he called on Lico. Lico's mayor, I think. He called on Weitzel, and he said aye. And he got McElroy, he said aye. He called on Rogers, he said no.
Oh.
And Lico said no. It was 2-2 and one abstention.
Oh, no.
No, 3-2, yeah. Was it 3-2?
I think Lico was in favor of firing.
Yeah, 3-2. 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1.
3-1 and one abstention. So I said, well, he's leaving the city at least halfway in a good city.
Yeah.
Then another motion was made to give him a month's salary while he looked around for another job. He was a very intelligent man, but he was too intelligent to hurt himself. Well, I think he got the problems all over.
Now, he was the very first person to occupy the city manager's office. And that's a rough job anyway.
Yeah, but you know, you have a wonderful education, but you don't use it properly, it goes against you. We had property in town, said, I want to do something with that property. I said, you can't. I said, why? I got good ideas for that. Well, do you own it? This is before I got on council. He said, no, but I got plans. I said, well, it don't work that way. You got to tell people what your plans are. So I really would have had an excuse if I wanted to get mad and say, I want to fire you if I get on. I wouldn't do that to a man. No way. Because he was just telling me what he had in mind, and I told him what I had in mind, you know. He said, well, maybe you got something there, but that's all. But I wouldn't go in there like that. Thought, should put in mind just to fire an individual. That would be very
the first thing
way to do.
Well, that must have been some rather interesting days, those first few...
Oh, sure. We had I've had a lot of good time. I enjoyed myself on the council. We had some awfully interesting things going on.
Well, where did that first meeting take place? Do you recall?
In the old church.
In the old congregational church?
You're right.
Yeah, I guess the new council chamber is quite a bit of an improvement over the old...
Well, it is, but you know, I happened to be on there when we decided on this new one.
The new building?
Yes. This was quite an issue. I think that was one of the biggest issues that would come before the city, because I ran one time, I think it was the second time. I put an article. As a matter of fact, I've got the green poop sheet yet that we send out, you know, from the council, that if Campbell doesn't do this, we're not going to grow. We need a general obligation bonds to build a new city hall, and et cetera. And I had phone calls, see, I shouldn't say that, I will not be elected. And I said, fine, to some of the other councilmen, if I'm not elected, then you'll know better, don't bring it up. But I said, if we don't do it, we're not going to go no place. Still, I was elected. And I'm going to find those papers and give them to you.
They'd be good for the record.
This is when the, you know, the mayor writes a little newsletter out that we get today.
Yeah,
that's this is what I have.
And you took that definite stand.
And I still got them all yesterday, and I was elected, and the bonds went through.
So you were sort of a sitting duck then. If they disliked it, you would have been out.
That's correct. But then when it come to building the building, I had an awful time to get the guys to go along and put the basement in, just to dig it.
Why?
Well, it would be too costly. It cut down expenses. I said, dig the darn basement, the full width now. Then if you ever want to expand, you've got it.
Well, we were already using the basement in 1978.
But just take it down. They said, well, you can go back in and dig it later. I said, at an awful cost. Your landscaping comes out, this comes out. Just think of it. It's already done from wall to wall. And we had a hard time getting that one through.
Well, now, how did you ever decide or settle upon using an architect named Bill Headley? Now, you were
we interviewed the architects.
Do you remember anybody else besides Headley who got
Yes,
interviewed?
I believe. Now, Homer Hyde was on to me too when we interviewed him.
Well, now, Homer, he was on the council, wasn't he? No, yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was on the council in 66 to 70.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was on there too.
Yeah, when we built it. I when we selected the architect.
Yeah.
And I think we interviewed I think Steinberg was going to be interviewed.
Yeah, that's a big company.
And I think the fellow from Los Gatos was one that we interviewed. He was up there on their planning commission.
He went through 2 or 3 different ones.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But it's interesting, now Headley has his office right in Campbell.
Yeah.
And he has almost become the Campbell architect, you know.
He's done very well for himself.
Yeah, well, are you dissatisfied? Well, of course, I don't know if you want to say, but the building, it seems to be, you know, quite functional.
No, I'm not dissatisfied. I'll tell you why. He'll only do what you tell him to do. Of course, they come up with some elaborate plans, and if you listen to them, I naturally get 10%, and you can't blame them for that.
Yeah.
I did go along with that roof on the City Hall. It's got a little concave to it, you know.
Yeah.
Now the library's the other way, and I think that's what we should have stayed with the City Hall, because that cost us $40,000 more.
Oh, and the library is simpler and not quite as
it cost
expensive.
$40,000. We built that would have been 40, and I can see now it was a horrendous mistake to build one way and one the other.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's gone. You can't help it. So I think the mistake I made there, I picked it up by insisting we dig the whole basement. And I also insisted not to put the two together. That can be brought out by even Bob Stevens.
Yeah.
The library and City Hall should not be together.
Okay, what was the reason? What was the reason for separating the library and City Hall?
Because if the library ever wanted to expand or we want to expand, you're stuck. That's
Okay.
your limit. You have limited yourself when you go in partnership.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But prior to building the City Hall, the big hassle coming when I was mayor, Sahadi brought his beautiful plans and showed to all the councilmen about moving City Hall into the towers. Have you ever heard that story?
Yeah, now Sahadi, he built the towers, right?
Right, he built that whole center.
Yeah, that's the Pruneyard Tower.
Right. Did you ever hear that, though? He wanted the city to take our $3 million and put it over there in his building, and we'd have the second and third floor for City Hall purposes.
In the tower
Towers,
building?
yeah. Then if we wanted to expand, we'd have to lease the space upstairs, you know, another floor.
Heavens, you'd be stuck with him forever.
And I said, no way will I go that route. Oh, he got very unhappy. No way. If you folks want to put that taxpayers' money down there, put it back on the ballot and tell the taxpayers, now we're going to take you $3 million, we're going to take it from this location downtown, which you thought would be the anchor for doing the downtown area, not the Loop Street that time, but the downtown area, we do that.
Right.
But if you want the money over there, put it on down, let the people tell you to stick it over there.
Yeah.
And they withdrew it.
Oh. Well, now, did you have other people on the council who supported your attitude?
Not the very first time around.
Oh,
no.
really?
Mm-mm. Then Rogers fell in line, Doc Rogers. And then Joe Bonacina could see it. We didn't like it. Some of the council favored it pretty strongly.
Now, Joe Bonacini, he was the
City
attorney.
attorney.
Yeah, I talked to him. He's
That's
a nice
office
guy.
right there. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
And I said, no way will I go that route. No way under the sun would I see put that over there. If the people vote out, that's fine.
Okay, so you felt that they had already voted to build the center
Right where we told them.
Yeah, and
that's
if they
where it
moved
should
the
be.
money.
Take it out over there, but put it back to the people to decide, not 5 councilmen or
Okay.
3.
Is there anything, now the City Hall is one of your big accomplishments, obviously. You know,
Well,
getting
general
City Hall.
obligation bonds, yes.
Huh?
I would say yes.
Is there something else that you particularly were, proud of having done in Campbell? For example, Morgan Park or anything like that?
Well, the funny thing with these parks that we have in these different school areas, when I first got on, I was there before Bob Stevens. Bob Stevens will verify this. You sat down and talk to him by himself, where I wouldn't ask him the question, and you being there, and he'd have to answer it because he might feel obligated.
Yeah.
I said, Bob, we're talking parks so much. I'm kind of resenting a lot of these parks all over the city. Why
Yeah.
don't we get the schools? That's why all this property was bought. Take off the tax roll and let the people use it. In conjunction, they should become parks for the areas.
You mean dual purpose?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But at that time, you couldn't get the schools to do anything because the country's full of money and the country's full of kids.
Oh,
So
I
we
see.
do. So we did finally come with this $10,000 voted in where we put up.
Uh-huh.
And this is what I felt the other night on this open space program.
That you're better off with using the schools.
Right now, but if and when the schools are abandoned,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be opposed to using every school right now for a parks, for Whole City Park, because we can't afford that, for one thing.
They're just operation expenses.
And secondly, you don't need them that close together if they were all to be abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
But there may be 1 or 2 that's needed, fine, set that aside and keep it.
Yeah, I see.
Those that you don't need,
Yeah.
let the developer develop it.
Sure.
We have a little 2-acre park there now, or a 1.5-acre park, with the playthings already set up.
Mm-hmm.
Make that a
Part
part of the
of the-
parcel, that remains part.
There
And
you
then you've
go.
got your park there.
Okay, so they get the development and the park
Why,
together.
yes.
Yeah. Well,
And if you got a nice school, that's really a dirty shame,
mhm.
that's ground level,